Hey guys, welcome to YouTube Sunday School with Centenary United Methodist Church. So good to see you all again. This will be our last YouTube Sunday School lesson. We are open for church. You all have been back in school, and our hope is that you will come and join us. I know it's the beginning of the summer and that many of you will go off to camp or be off on family vacations and everything. So, but it is our hope that when you are in town, that you will come and join us. There will be children's church again during the 11 o'clock hour. We're not quite certain what the ages are that we will be receiving there. We will switch that up, though. It will not be probably as many, it will not be as limiting as it was during the summer. And we hope that we will see you again. But this will be our last one, and we're picked the last parable that we will see is the parable of the wicked tenants. There were more than one. There were lots of them. But again, think about this parable in terms of God, in terms of Jesus, and in terms of the way that we have treated Jesus when he was here on earth. This is an interesting one, and it gives a great deal of pause for thought. So here we go.
Jesus was teaching in the temple. He told the religious leaders to listen to this story. A landowner planted a vineyard. He built a wall around the vineyard and dug a pit for crushing grapes. He also built a tower. The landowner rented the vineyard to some tenants and left the country. When it was time for the harvest, the owner sent some servants to go get his grapes. But the tenants grabbed the servants. They beat up one servant, killed another, and threw stones at the third.
So the owner sent more servants to his vineyard, but the tenants attacked them too. Finally, the owner sent his son. He expected the tenants to respect him, but the tenants threw the son out of the vineyard and killed him. Jesus asked, "When the owner comes back to the vineyard, what do you think he should do to those tenants?"
The religious leaders answered, "They deserve to die. The owner should rent the vineyard to people who respect him." Jesus replied, "Don't you know what the scriptures say? The stone that the builders tossed aside is now the cornerstone, the most important stone of all. God did this, and it is amazing to us."
Then Jesus said, "So I tell you, God's kingdom will be taken away from you and given to people who do what he commands. Anyone who trips over this stone will be broken to pieces, and this stone will crush anyone it falls on." When the religious leaders heard Jesus' story, they knew that Jesus was talking about them.
Jesus told this story to teach the religious leaders about himself. God sent his own son, Jesus, to earth, but the religious leaders rejected him. Jesus is the cornerstone, the most important one of all. Only he can save us from our sin.
It gives us pause for thought, doesn't it? All right. So in the story, the vineyard owner is God, and he planted the vineyard, which is God sharing the goodness of this earth and sharing his word and sharing his ways with us. And we are the grapes, the vines. That's who we are. We are the vines. And God planted it and he planted it, and then he went away. He's in heaven. But he sent his people. He sent his prophets. Remember, he sent John the Baptist. He sent Elijah, he sent Elisha, he sent David and Solomon, and he sent many different leaders throughout time to proclaim God's word, to preach to the people, to lead the people during this time. And a lot of times the people didn't want to hear them. They killed John the Baptist. They beheaded him. So then the owner sent to the tenants his son, and that's Jesus. God sent Jesus, and the wicked tenants represent the priest and the Levites, the ruling priestly caste of the Jewish people, and they wouldn't have anything to do with Jesus. What did they end up doing to Jesus? But they killed him. But God sent him to teach them, to lead them, and they wouldn't hear anything of it. So God was the property owner. God was the one that owned the property. He was the one that planted the vineyard. The wicked tenants were the ruling class, the priests and the Levites of the Jews. And the first people that God sent were his prophets, and then the son that he sent was Jesus. And Jesus was trying to teach them, if you don't listen to me, if you don't follow me, if you don't take care of the vineyard, you don't take care of these people and teach them about God, then it's going to all be taken away from you. All of it. And it'll be given to someone else. And sure enough, it was as time went on. The good news was shared with the Gentiles. And the majority of Christians today are people who were not Jewish, but who were Gentiles. So that's a very interesting parable, one that warns us that we are to listen and we are to hear and we are to heed what God has taught us, what God teaches us, what those people that have come to us and teaching us, we need to listen to them. So, I hope that you will take this as your last parable and our last YouTube. And what I hope is it begins a new time that we will see each other in person. Blessings to you all.